Okay, we can carry on for hours and hours of these good memories, and I do hope all of you have seen these games. What I would like to discuss today is a little bit about the history of the Olympic movement, just for you to know exactly what it is. You know, the origin was in Greece. You know, there was a great event in the honor of the god Zeus. The truth also was important, and you know, President Samaranch in Lillehammer called for truce. You know, it was in the middle of the war, and some members came to former Yugoslavia. We have at the beginning some discipline, as you can see on the slide, and of course, as has been said this morning, Baron Pierre de Coubertin, he was a French guy who decided to live in Switzerland, decided to make a revival of the games, you know. And here you can see the different evolution of what is the motto, Situs Artis Fortius, then the ring and the flag, the torch in 1936, and the anthem in 1958. The first edition of the game took place in 1896 in Athens, 14 nations and 241 athletes. The first edition of the Winter Games, which were not called at the time Winter Games, was in Chamonix 1924, 16 nations and 258 athletes. What about the Olympic movement, very briefly now? Olympism is a philosophy of life and sport at the service of the harmonious development of man, and of course a community of dialogue and peace throughout the world. The Olympic Charter, very briefly, as you can see on the slide, is a fundamental principle, rules and bylaws adopted by the International Olympic Committee, and it governs the organization. Don't go on this slide to be complicated, but just to show you that the Olympic movement is quite a complicated nebulous, you know, with different stakeholders. What about the International Olympic Committee? Founded in 1894 by Baron Pierre de Coubertin and hosted in Lausanne since 1915. The Olympic movement is composed of different stakeholders, 28 summer federations, 7 international Olympic winter sports, and 32 recognized international federations. We have also all the national Olympic committees, which vary for the moment between 204 and 205, it depends on the recognition. And of course you have the organizing committee of the Olympic Games, and now, as it is explained by Claude Brigadier this morning, the Youth Olympic Games. For the moment we have Vancouver, we have London, Sochi, and of course Singapore. And I do hope in some time I can add the word Zakopane on this paper. Important entities also, we have the IPC, within the International Paralympic Committee, the World Anti-Doping Agency, and of course, and unfortunately sometimes, we have the Court of Arbitration, the sport. And we have many recognized organizations. International Olympic Committee, very briefly, mission to promote Olympic values as laid out in the Olympic Charter, to build a peaceful and better world for sport, and to ensure the regular separation of the games. The structure, you will see here, our president who has been elected in 2001 in Moscow, he will be for a new election in 2009 this year at the Congress in Paris. 107 members, 2,400 members, and you recognize here our actual current president, Jacques Rogue, and the honorary vice president, Samaranch. The administration, very briefly, 39 nationalities, average age 41. I'm not in this average age, sorry. And the turnover within the administration is about 6-7 years. And the priority, as you can see, is manageable gains, fight against doping, and ethics. I don't want to go on that one. You know, if you want a slide, you can ask the organization, they will provide you with. The fight against doping also is a very important issue. Protect the health of the athlete, defend sport ethics, and ensure equality between competitors. And ethics, of course, the ethics is a very important issue. Achievement, women in sport, environment, Olympic solidarity, human development. Sport and environment, it is something also very important for us, you know, and now each bidding city, each applicant city, each candidate city has to prove that they are working for what we call Green Olympic Games. Beijing did it, Vancouver tried to do it, London probably will do it. Olympic Solidarity, which is an entity which provides us with all the possibility for emerging countries, developing countries to access to Olympic Games and to have athletes. Human development, we are working with different partners as UN, World Bank, Red Cross and others. Marketing, I will be very brief on that because I don't want to bother you with this kind of thing. We have partners, as you know, and these partners help the IOC and the Olympic movement, and you will see the revenue is coming from broadcasting, corporate sponsorship, ticketing and licensing, and far more important, the IOC just kept 8% of its revenue for its own functions. The rest is given back to National Olympic Committees, Federation and Organizing Committee. As for the Olympic Games, you can see the change between Athens 1896, 14 participants, and Beijing 204. And the number of athletes from 241 up to 10,000, almost 11,000 athletes. And for the Winter Games, Chamonix 16 nations and Turin 80 nations. We will be about 80-something in Vancouver. The audience is the largest audience in the world, more than 4 billion before the World Cup and sometimes some Formula 1 racing. Come back to the games now. You can recognize some major persons who have been role models during these games. Very important what Michael Phelps said. You know, you remember 8 gold medals, 7 world records, 14 Olympic gold. And he said, I didn't want to be another Spitz, I want to be myself. And I can achieve what I want to achieve. That is one of the motto of an athlete. The sport also triumphed over politics. And you can see on this photo, one Georgian and one Russian athlete who hug each other. At the same time, you remember these two countries had some problem at the time of the game. Friendship also, you remember these two tennismen congratulating each other. And legacy. The game has changed, and you will see later on, the game has changed Beijing as on the sport point of view, on the road network point of view, and of course on the communication point of view. Remember the new airport in Beijing. As for Beijing now, I told you 204 nations, a bit less than 12,000 athletes, 302 events, 28 federations. This will drop down to 26 in London. Remember, softball and baseball are not anymore for the moment part of the Olympic program. To come back to the healthcare, for medical alone, you have a little bit more than 3,000 people working in Beijing, 2,000 working in the coast city, 5 coast cities, including Qingdao and Hong Kong, and you can see that's a real major organization. For the local organization, you have on each venue, and you will see it will be the same for the Universiade, you will need to have medical station on the venue, you will need to have staff on the venue, ambulances, services, and even non-competition venues and training venues should be, you should have medical personnel on site. The data analysis has been done by different parameters as accreditation, date, venue, and diagnosis. And you can see here, we had a little bit than 12,000 medical encounters. No, 22,000 medical encounters all together, and you can see on this chart that the major number was at the middle of the games, which was the first weekend, which is always the busiest one. The medical encounter per accreditation, you can see that the workforce always represents the highest number, because in Beijing they have about 75,000 volunteers. So you understand that it's a large city with medical encounters, and we have to take care of them. And the athletes can start in a second. Medical encounters, so by venue, of course, number 1 was the National Stadium, and then the other venues. Medical encounters per diagnosis. Number 1 was musculoskeletal, because athletes and even workforce, they had accidents. And number 2, it is something quite interesting. Number 1 is always musculoskeletal, and number 2 is dental, because we have found that the athlete's dental health was very, very bad. And therefore, many athletes take the opportunity of the game to have some treatment at the polyclinic. The key success for good medical organization: good team, good people, right time, right place, right person. Good cooperation with government, good cooperation with other functions, and good plan, and good daily report. You can see here some slides where the medicals are not so easy sometimes in whitewater, at the mountain, at the BMX. Sometimes it's quieter like that, you know, for soccer or field hockey. Sometimes it's nice, you're underwater, and you can see the nice competition. You have also massage, which is very well known in China. Not this one, but you have also foot massage. And we have the polyclinic. For those who've been in Beijing, the polyclinic of the village is a real hospital. You can see here all the departments which have been prepared by our Chinese colleagues. And you can see that's a real hospital. This is the polyclinic inside of the Olympic Village. With dental, and you can see here what we have done. We have done a lot in dental, and as I told you, many athletes take advantage of the Olympic Games to have a dental review and treatment. We have ENT, pharmacy, laboratory. I told you it's a real hospital, and for those who will be part of Olympic Games, as Sophia, you know, in Albertville and in Sisi, we have also a polyclinic, and people were mostly friendly for that. Ophthalmology, vision center. We had at this time a partner with Johnson & Johnson who have installed a major vision center for the athlete to be monitored and to have also some glasses. We have to stop also, as you can see.